Microsoft Skype, once synonymous with internet-based voice and video calling, has officially shut down, bringing an end to its 22-year tenure.
한때 인터넷 음성 및 화상 통화의 대명사였던 마이크로소프트의 스카이프가 22년 만에 서비스를 공식 종료했습니다. Oh, okay.
Yeah, goodbye Skype. So the service has officially shut down, ending a 22-year run as a pioneer in internet calling. It was first acquired by Microsoft for $8.5 billion back in 2011, and it once boasted over 300 million monthly users and revolutionized global communication with free voice and video calls. But in recent years, its user base has dwindled down to just 36 million as, of course, rivals like Zoom, there's WhatsApp, and Microsoft Teams surged ahead. They say that Teams now has over 320 million users, and Microsoft is shifting focus there, especially to integrate more AI features. But Skype has helped popularize the VoLP and even showcased early real-time translation tech, but it struggled with clunky updates, reliability issues, and failure to evolve. You got to move on with the times.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so they say that Skype users had until May 5th to migrate to Teams or to switch services. And while the app is gone, its influence, I believe, on digital communication still lives on.
Yeah, and it'll always be there in history. We'll learn about it.
Yep.
Skype was once synonymous with internet-based voice calling and video calling. Now, let's talk about this expression.
Yes, synonymous. Right. If you're synonymous with something, it means that you're so closely associated with another thing that if you think of one thing, it suggests the other, and the two are essentially the same.
그래서 동의어를 synonym이라고 하고 그다음에 반의어는 antonym이라고 하죠. synonym의 스펠링은 synonym인가요?
Yes.
I don't know why I set myself up for these things.
It's like a spelling bee.
그러게요. 자, 그리고 antonym은 antonym 이렇게 쓰는데 동의어, 반의어. 여기서 synonymous라는 것은 뭐뭐과 같다. synonymous with something. 그래서 스카이프는 한때 일것과 동일시됐다. 뭐냐면은 인터넷에서 하는 화상 채팅, 아니면 영상 채팅 이런 것들과 그냥 동일시되는 그런 대명사였죠.
Yeah. Nowadays, when we think of online chatting or online or speaking or having meetings, online meetings, we think of Zoom. But back in the day, it was Skype.
Skype. Yeah, absolutely. 그래요. 근데 우리는 이제 뭐뭐의 대명사다라고 하지만 영어에서는 Skype was the pronoun 이렇게 하지 않아요. 하지 않아요. 그러니까 이때는 직역하지 마시고 it was synonymous with internet video calling 이렇게 하시면 되겠고. Tenure, what's that?
A tenure. So we use this a lot when, for example, the president's tenure in office is so-and-so years. So it refers to someone holding an office, or it can also refer to the conditions under which land or buildings are held or occupied.
재임 기간, 그것을 tenure, tenure라고 하는데요. It can be for a job, a position, a role, anything. So that's the period of time that you hold that role.
Yep.
In this case, it's not a person, but it's Skype.
Skype, yeah.
Skype was around for 22 years. That was its tenure. And now it's saying goodbye.
It's gone.
It's, yeah. Chucked out the window. All right. Well, here it is again. Microsoft's Skype, once synonymous with internet-based voice and video calling, has officially shut down, bringing an end to its 22-year tenure. Let's move on to the next headline.
A swirling 30-meter column of dust, known as a dust devil, made a rare appearance in a major UK city, bringing traffic to a standstill and startling bystanders.
영국 맨체스터에서 30m 높이로 회오리치는 보기 드문 먼지바람, 일명 dust devil 현상이 발생해 교통이 멈추고 행인들이 놀라는 일이 있었습니다. Wow, so it's described as a column of dust. 거의 먼지 기둥 같은 거네요.
Yeah. So I think we've talked about the column of water in the ocean, but this is something similar that happens on land. So it was a very dramatic event that sent jaws dropping in Manchester over the weekend as the swirling column of dust tore down a very busy road at that. So it made the traffic stop and it definitely stunned a lot of bystanders. It was 30 meters high, and it was caught on camera spinning down this very busy street with a lot of shocked witnesses saying that it looks like a tornado in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
So witnesses say that they initially thought it was an explosion before they started filming this rare phenomenon, and others say that that it was dark because the dust blocked the sun.
Oh, wow.
But it's not a tornado. It's actually called a dust devil. It's a very short-lived weather event that's caused by warm, dry ground and temperature irregularities. And unlike tornadoes, dust devils rise from the ground and they don't require storm clouds. And they're actually pretty common in desert regions, but of course it's a very rare sight to be seen in the UK. So it was I don't know what I would say if I saw this kind of tearing down the street in the middle of the city. So it was a very surprising show for Manchester locals.
You can tell even by the name that people put to this phenomenon, a dust devil, that it's not something you get to see every day, and it's also quite frightening. Well, this was a really high column of dust. In some articles, it says it was a 30-foot column, which would be 10 meters, but nonetheless, it was very, very tall. And it was a rare appearance, wasn't it?
A very rare appearance. So if it's rare, it means that it just does not happen very often. So it's uncommon or very unusual.
그래요. 자, 드물게 모습을 드러낼 때 make a rare appearance라고 얘기를 합니다. You could say, this singer doesn't make many appearances on stage.
Right.
They don't come on television that often. So they made a rare appearance last weekend on this show, and that would be an example. So it's something that doesn't happen very often.
Right.
What about bring something to a standstill?
Right. So if something brings something to a standstill, or if something is brought to a standstill, it means that it's stopped. Everything has stopped from moving or functioning, usually completely. So it implies a complete halt or a stop of activity or any sort of progress.
그렇죠. 뭔가를 완전히 정지시킨다라는 뜻입니다. Bring something to a standstill. So for example, heavy snow can bring a whole city to a standstill because you can't drive, you can't go out if there's a lot of snow. And I guess that's the same for heavy rain. If it rains too much, then that could also bring traffic to a standstill.
Right, or a major accident during the morning rush hour could bring traffic to a standstill.
Many, many years ago, I was driving on the highway, coming to work, and, the traffic all of a sudden stopped and we were just stuck there not knowing what was going on. And it later turned out there was this food waste truck.
Oh dear.
That had sort of let its waste drop on the floor. The truck itself was okay, but I guess the back part of it tilted. And then you had like
all the food waste.
The food waste everywhere on the highway.
Oh,
and it was a lot of food waste.
Yeah.
So it took them some time and that brought traffic to a standstill. But yeah, luckily no one was hurt or anything like that. I guess it was a little bit stinky though.
Oh dear.
But, I'm grateful for all the people that do the cleanup operations.
Yes.
When that happens. All right, well, here's the headline again. A swirling 30-meter column of dust known as a dust devil made a rare appearance in a major UK city, bringing traffic to a standstill and startling bystanders. Let's move on to the final headline.
A large-scale study has found that becoming obese under the age of 30 increases the chances of premature death from many chronic diseases by more than 75%.
30세 이전에 비만이 될 경우 여러 만성 질환으로 인한 조기 사망 가능성이 75% 이상 높아진다는 대규모 연구 결과가 나왔습니다. Tell us more.
Well, first of all, what do you need to do about this? So what if you're over the age of 30?
Right.
And what if you were obese before 30? They didn't tell you what you need to do
It's too
afterwards.
late, I guess,
it's too
for us.
late. But so this is a major Swedish study, and it found that becoming obese before the age of 30, it increases the risk of you dying early by over 75%, with the danger especially high for heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and cancer. So they tracked 620,000 adults and found that women who became obese in their 20s were 84% more likely to die prematurely, while the risk for men rose by 79%. And they say that each half kilogram of weight gained before the age of 30 increased your mortality risk by over 20% compared to smaller effects in later decades. And experts say that long-term exposure to excess weight is key to chronic disease, and they are urging governments to act.
So as you said, this news is really for the younger people out there. And if you
you're
have
under
children
30, yes.
or if you have friends, relatives under the age of 30, this could be a bit of advice you could give to them. For those of us over that age, we're just going to have to be very careful about what we
What can we
eat
do?
and try to be as healthy as we can. Okay, if you do something prematurely, or in this case, what is a premature death?
Premature means it occurs or is done before the usual or proper time. So it just means too early.
Right. 원래 예정되거나 예상됐던 것보다 너무나 일찍 뭔가가 일어났을 때 it's premature라고 얘기할 수 있어요. 그래서 그 too early의 느낌이 있습니다. 일찍 해서 좋은 게 아니라 이렇게 일찍 하면 안 됐었는데 뭐 예를 들자면은 아직 경기가 끝나지 않았는데 다 이제 축하 분위기로 갔어요. 그래서 oh no, the football match hasn't ended yet, but the celebration it seems a little premature.
Because you don't know.
그러니까요. 지금 결과가 다 뒤집어질 수도 있는데 벌써 축하하면 어떡해. 너무 이르다. 이런 느낌이 있는 거고. In this case, it's a bit of a morbid story, but you know, we're talking about a death that occurs too early, a premature death.
But the stats really were kind of surprising though, because 75%, and for women they were saying that it was 84%. That's quite high.
That is very high. Well, you don't want to suffer from any sort of chronic disease. But what is a chronic disease?
A chronic disease is, they're talking about conditions that last for a year or more and require ongoing medical attention, or it might be something that limits your daily activities, or it could be both.
Yeah. The point is that it's long-lasting,
Yes.
isn't it? 오래가는 이 만성병을 chronic disease라고 합니다. Sometimes you have pain that's been there for ages, you know, for maybe years.
Like shoulder
you know.
pain,
yeah.
neck pain.
That's a
It's
chronic pain.
Yeah.
그래요. CHRONIC, chronic, 만성이다. 만성병, chronic disease. 다시 한번 제가 읽어보겠습니다. A large-scale study has found that becoming obese under the age of 30 increases the chances of premature death from many chronic diseases by more than 75%. Well, that's it for the headlines with Karen.